What's up guys, and welcome back to my Bootstrap 5 crash course lesson number 3, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to style buttons and button groups with Bootstrap. And if you're new here, then go and check out my other lessons on Bootstrap, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any new videos. And the first thing that we need to do is create a button, so let's do that. And I'm going to add some text, so I'm just going to right click me. And now what we're going to do is see what the default styles look like with Bootstrap. So I'm going to open it and I'm zoomed in a bit so we can see it better. And you can see that it looks a bit different from the default. Now let's comment the link out and then go back. And now you can see that the one with Bootstrap adds some padding, changes the border and other things. And to do that, we have to go back to our HTML file, uncomment the link, and now what we're going to do is go to our button and add a class of btn, which is going to give it more styles. So let's open it again and see what happened. And you can see that the background is going to be transparent now, which means that we have to set it by ourselves. And if you remember the lesson on how to do it, then try to do it by yourself. But while you do that, what we're going to do is look at the button class and see the styles that it gives us. So you can see there's some padding here, there's some color, text lines, and other things. And if we actually go to the transition, you can see that there's some values here which give it a basic animation. So when we click the button, you can see that the border here fades in and also fades out, which is what this is. And to see our button and the transition better, what we're going to do is go back to VS Code and write background primary, which is going to change the background to blue, as you can see over here. And if we click again, you can see that now the border is going to be black like it was, but it looks a bit better. And also the text is black, which doesn't look too good. So what we could do is add a text of white, which is going to change the border and the text color. And now when we click, you can see that the border changes to white too, which makes it look like the button gets smaller. So now it looks like a basic animation. And there's a faster way in which we can do this for buttons because they have a special class for that. So we can delete those two classes and then we could write button. And then the color, so we used primary, so let's use it again. And now you can see that nothing really changed other than the hover effect. So when we hover, you can see that the button gets a bit darker. And when we click, you can see that it gets even darker, but the border doesn't change, which means that the animation is going to be a bit different. But I personally like this button a lot more because we have to write less code or less stuff here. And also because I like making my own animation sometimes, and this is as good and basic as it could get, so this is good enough for me. But what we're going to do now is look at some other buttons that we can get or other styles. So I'm going to just copy and then paste this down a few times. This should be enough, and I'm going to change this one to secondary, this one to success, warning, and then we could also do danger, and that looks pretty nice. And you can see that for this warning one, the text doesn't change to white, so most of them have their own styles. And to actually look at the other styles that we can go to the Bootstrap website. Let's go here to the docs, and we could write buttons here. And over here we can see all the other styles that we can get. Let's actually try this dark one, which is pretty nice. So we can go here and you can see that this one's going to be button dark. So let's just go back to our HTML file, copy and paste this down here, and then change the danger to dark. When we go back here, you can see that now the button's going to be dark, and it looks pretty nice, just like all of these buttons here. Now we're actually going to take a look at these buttons and then at the button groups over here. And what we're going to do now is go back to the buttons here and then scroll down until we see the outline buttons. And what we're going to see is that we just need to add the outline here, which is going to add the outlines. So let's do that. Let's go back here. And then we're going to add an outline here. So we're going to write outline. And then we can just copy this and then paste it here. And then for every single button, like this. And now it should look like this for you, which looks pretty nice because when we hover, you can see that the background changes to the color of the outlines. And now that we're done with the outline buttons, let's go and take a look at the button groups. So we're going to go to the basic example and take a look at the HTML. So we can see that there's a div here with a class of button group. And inside of these div, we have 3 buttons with normal classes. So button and then button primary and so on with some text here. So we have left, middle, right. And let's try to recreate this. So we're gonna go back here, and we can delete all of this other than the primary. And I'm actually gonna change this back to what it was. So I'm gonna delete the outline, and we're gonna create a div with a class of btn group. And inside of these div, we're gonna just copy and paste this down 3 times. And we're gonna write left, middle, and then we're gonna write right here, capitalize it. And when we go back here, you can see that now we have a button group, and we can style it just like the other buttons. So if we scroll down, you can see that we can change the classes here. So instead of just having 3 buttons the same color, we can style them a bit more. So let's try to do that. So go back here, and then we're going to change this to success. Let's do warning here. And now you can see that it looks pretty nice, and all the hover effects are still here. But then these warning, you can see that the text is going to be black. So we can change the text here to white if we want to. Or we can just change the button here to something else. And now you can see that they all look the same. Or the text color is going to be the same. And let's actually try to do the outline now, just like we did before. So we're going to go back here, and then we're going to write outline, and then same thing here. So outline, and then I actually want to change this to something else. So let's try the dark one, and then we're going to write outline here. And now you can see that the buttons look exactly the same like from before, but as a group button now instead of a single button. And so this is going to be for this video, so I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, then leave a like. Subscribe to the channel for more content like this, leave a comment down below if you have any questions, and see you in the next video.